Hello folks and welcome to Play/Game. My name is Nick and I am here with you today to discuss my impressions on Life is Feudal MMO. Now, what is Life is Feudal MMO? If you've ever heard of Life is Feudal Your Own, you'll be very familiar with the look of what's playing right now. Life is Feudal MMO is basically a Life is Feudal Your Own game, which has had the servers extended to be able to take 10,000 plus players, and had the map upgraded to a, I believe, 10 by 10 kilometer section as opposed to the 2 by 2 in Life is Feudal Your Own. Now, I could be mistaken about those, but basically imagine a larger Life is Feudal Your Own. With a few slight tweaks. Now, I've been playing Life is Feudal MMO for a couple of weekends now, kind of going through, checking out some stuff. So I have to say that it plays extremely similar to Life is Feudal Your Own. Basically, almost entirely similar. Works in the same way. So you go around, and basically level up your skills to whatever you along the tree of whatever you want to do, basically, right? Now, along the way, you find friends, or you already have friends that are in the game. You create a community, and you build up together a large castle-like structure, if you wish, or whatever you wish to build, basically, while fighting off bandits and other enemies. Now, a couple tweaks happen in Life is Feudal MMO that are not in Your Own. So first off, the guild system. It's been a little bit revamped. I haven't personally seen it, but I know from hearing from the leaders of my current guild, what happens is when you create a group, you get listed as a country. Now, basically, what happens after that is if you decide to take on vassals or allies or anything of that sort, you become a kingdom. And then through that, there are, of course, the king, the duke, and everything like that you can set your people to. Now, unfortunately, it seems at this moment you can't change the titles. You can change who, of course, owns those titles, but you can't change the title of king to something else. And it also looks like you cannot have a king and a queen, but rather just a king or a queen. Now, also within this system that works a little differently is the fact that the vassals are controlled basically by you. What I mean by controlled by you is what they're allowed to do on your main land, on the king's basically castle, is all controlled by you. So, for example, if you wanted to, you could have it so that your vassals are not allowed to enter your territory under threat of trespassing, or they can't access certain things within your territory, like chests or anything else like that. Basically, these are allowed to be set by the owners of basically the kingdom, right? Now, unfortunately, this game suffers from something that in Life is Feudal Your Own was there, but was not that bad, and that's the grind. In Life is Feudal Your Own, because the servers were controlled entirely by the players themselves, or the people who had set up those servers, you could adjust the multipliers and reduce the times that it took to do things within the world. Now, that's not the case here. You are actually on servers that are controlled by the devs, of course. One giant server or multiple servers, basically. The North American or EU server particularly. And that means that all those multipliers and all those times and all those rules are all set by the developer. Now, unfortunately, they have made the grind so much worse. So much worse. To a point where I can't even get past this grind. It's too much. And I'll give you an example as to why. Swinger is the first step in becoming an archer, basically. So you get access to a swing, and you can sling rocks, of course, right? Well, you have to get that up to level 30 to unlock the ability to use a bow and arrow. Now you think level 30, not that bad. Well, you'd be wrong. Unfortunately, every hit and only hits on either targets so far or actual animals count. I've tried it on just a tree or on a bark box, and it didn't seem to work. Now, each hit basically gives you 0.009. At most, you get 0.01. I believe that would, yeah. Basically, 0.01 is the maximum that you'd ever get. Now, in order to get to level 30, that means for every level you have to swing 10 rocks. No, sorry, not 10. For every level you have to swing 100 rocks. So in essence, to get to level 30, you have to swing 3,000 rocks. You have to hit, not just swing, you have to hit 3,000 targets in order to have that get to level 30. 3,000. That's way too much. And that doesn't just equate to swinger either. These are your military skills in particular. Your military skills in particular, every hit seems to be at most a 0.01 without the power hour, as they call it, which is a consumable you can buy via the shop with real money. Yes, microtransactions have made their way in here. Now, that means that any military skill, you'll have to hit something 3,000 times to get it up to max, or to even level 30, sorry. So imagine how many times to get up to level 100. I mean, that's insane. The grind is way too much. Now, when it comes to skills for crafting, it's not as bad, but it can be bad. So every time, depending on the skill and what level you are, because of course as you get higher, your point gain drops, I've been averaging somewhere around 0.12 per skill, or tree chopped or per stone shaped, whatever the case may be. So that takes it down quite a bit, but it's still a bit too much. Now, some people may be saying, well, what about how many skill points can you have? Well, skill points in this game, of course, since it's owned by the developers or controlled by the developers, are set to a certain number. And that number, I believe, is somewhere around 400. So that means that you can't do everything, unlike in Life Is Feudal your own. You have to specialize. So personally, I'm trying to specialize to a blacksmith. But to get to a blacksmith, I have to go through my artisan skill, up through material prep, up through smelting, into a blacksmith and weaponsmith area. So imagine 0.12 per skill level. Now I have to get about 4 layers up this tree to be able to even do what I want to do in the first place. This is way too much. So the skills for particularly the military have to be increased by like a factor of 3. And I would say the skills just for crafting have to be increased by at least a factor of 2. I can understand if once you get past 60, there's a drastic drop, and now you have to slog your way up to the maximum levels. But at this state of the game, where I am below level 30 in most things, it is ridiculous to think this is proper. Some people in my guild have even come up with the idea to actually just use macros. So they will sit there in front of a target with a macro going, swinging or hitting that target with swinging and hitting that target, or swinging a sword and hitting that target, walking away from their computer and only coming back when the actual action has stopped due to maybe stamina or due to the breakage of the item itself. I'm not here to play a game that can play itself using a macro. So personally, to me, the way I would see this game right now is it is a good start, but they need to make serious adjustments to the progression of the game to keep me interested. Because the end game is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in glorious, large, medieval battles that could take place in a world full of 10,000 people and castles and siege equipment. It sounds amazing. But the slog to get there is so much that I would have to put in so much time just to get there, and I may never see that. So, if anybody of the developers is listening to this, or anybody interested in this game, I would suggest you do try it out if you have the chance. If you liked Life is Feudal Your Own, you may very well love Life is Feudal Your Own MMO. For me personally, I liked Life is Feudal Your Own. But unfortunately, the slog in this is far too high for me. Does that mean I'm not going to play? No, by far not. I'm going to get in every once in a while, see what's going on, see if there's anything I can contribute to my group. But am I going to be sitting here playing this for hours on end, like I first did over these past couple weeks? Probably not, because unfortunately I just don't feel that I'm getting anywhere, or that I am ever going to see the top of my field. So, if I was to rate this game basically as a first impressions rating overall of what this game is, I would say at this moment, in its current state, it's a 3 out of 5. It's an average. It's a meh right now to me. I could go without playing it. I could go with playing it. It's just the slog is too far. I understand a slog, and I am not saying that it should be super easy to get to the top. It shouldn't. But at the lower levels especially, it's far too punishing and geared far too much to trying to get you to buy microtransactions to get up. Or, sorry, buy those power hours to get up. I should not feel that I have to buy a power hour to actually get anywhere in the game. Power hours should be something that I want to buy to increase my stats more quickly, but something that I don't need to. Whereas right now, I feel if you really want to get up higher, you kind of have to rely on power hours. And I don't agree with that whatsoever. So guys, this is Nick with Play/Game. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please hit a thumbs up if you like this video, thumbs down if you don't. Of course, like I said, if you have any questions about the game that I didn't cover here in this short video, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer all of you in the comment section below. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time on the next video from Play/Game. I think I have lots of ammo. Oh, right now. But. Better calm down again.